Dow Jones Futures review. I'm going to go over a setup that we saw on Thursday morning that was a double setup and show you really how institutions work um, and how you can play with them, not against them. So let's go to a 4-hour chart real quick and kind of just really get a quick picture of what's going on here. We have a broadening formation developing, potentially a downtrend channel 2 in a bull flag, but I'll get to that more later. So either way, you can see here we've been consolidating in this space now for a while. We tapped it a few times and then we undercut it. We've since moved from here, but just showing you this, I'm going to show you the results after. So we sold down from all the way around 52.71 to about 51.72, so almost 100 points. We're going to get it set up here at some point. I had a clear low I was looking for in the bottom corner here that I was hoping that we tag, and we didn't. So let's see what happened. Let's go to a 45-minute chart. This is a sell. It started Wednesday morning and led into Thursday morning, right? So now let's go into a 15-minute chart, and we got a big sell and a bounce right here at 9:30 at the open. So that's where I want to start first and show you what went down. Let's go to a 1-minute chart so we can see the real clear action. We came to the this area. There was no low, and we just bounced out of nowhere at this minor level. At that point, we went right over these levels. We hit this level, sold down, came back up, and pushed through. If you wanted, an experienced trader might decide to enter here, understanding that it was a big sell, 100 points, which is pretty good for Dow Jones. Compared to ES, that's like a $200 point sell potentially. So we fidgeted here real quick and then start pushing up above this level. And then we went above the trigger here. There was a low back there around 51.89, and this would have been the trigger here, or 51.89 could have been as well. And that triggered around 9:35. If one entered here, they would have not really seen the gains they wanted. They would have gotten a couple points, 4 or 5 points, enough for some, especially Dow Jones. So it was a decent trade there, technically, right? So if you entered around like 52.01, you got up to almost 6 points. So it was a good trade, honestly, if you entered quick and took your points. If you took your points, if you didn't take your points, then what ended up happening was we started selling. We had a couple little fast failed breakdowns here, but nothing that would have been worthwhile, honestly, at that point, because I probably would have wanted to get above this trigger if I wanted to enter anything. And you can see the price was clearly trying to get above it in hindsight. And eventually we came down and lost this by just not even a point and went back up. The trigger would have been the green level here because we did not lose this low by more than 8 points here on Dow Jones. So we're looking for a couple points above to clear before we enter our failed breakdown. So let's go to a 1-minute chart and see what happened when it dipped below. Now, talking about if you entered here and didn't take your profits but held on all the way, technically speaking, we only dipped below this low and didn't even go for more than a minute. So you probably don't need to take that low, that entry off just yet in the situation. This doesn't always happen like this, but it did happen like this in this case. So you really had no reason, unless you had a strict stop loss, but even then you'd want to give a couple points at that point if you're going to enter so many points above here, almost 25 points. So going back to this, we bounced really quick at that low and came right back up. This would have been our trigger, and we held for a couple minutes here. Excuse me. At that point, one could have entered, and that trade immediately worked out for a nice 13-point gain before selling off a little bit. It actually went up to the trigger from previous and sold exactly off of that. So you can see how that worked out well. Now let's see what happens after. We started selling a little bit, so let's see if we can speed up the action a little bit. It's a 1-minute chart. Actually, I'm going to do us a favor. I'm going to stop real quick here, and I'm going to, we got back to the trigger, as you can see here. And actually, let's just let it play for a little bit. Go to a 5-minute chart, and you're going to see the push above. Eventually on Thursday, we got another nice amount over it, sold back down, but we never lost these lows. And then we continued to consolidate around here. Now we were entering Thursday evening last week, Still consolidating, so this is a long consolidation. Let's go to a 15-minute chart, see what's going on now. And then boom, we started pushing on Thursday evening again, sold back down, still consolidating. You can see how many times it consolidated there until finally it broke out. At this point, it tested this resistance, sold down and accepted, went through, and now we really started pushing. We came back, and let's pause real quick. You can see we set up an awesome fail breakdown right here. Let's see how that worked out in hindsight now. So if the low was right here and we had a couple other lows here, this was an exact low potentially, set 878. So we got just 1 point below it, technically speaking. So you can use that as a fail breakdown. So I'm looking to enter around 91.8 at that point. And let's see if it covers all the lows. It does cover all the lows. So let's see how that played out in hindsight. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Go to a 1 minute chart. So in this case, we sold down. We tested the trigger almost. Finally got it, sold again, and then accepted it, went above, and we held for a few minutes. One can long after that. And then that clearly worked out for a solid 20 points right away or more. Let's go to a 5-minute chart and see. Actually, we can pretty much finish there. So that was a couple of setups right there on Dow Jones. Just be patient for these liquidity traps. They're constantly happening. If you don't like the setup, then just wait for the next one. Sometimes you're going to miss the train, but honestly, just trust your setup. Look for the clear lows. We have one right here. We have a little cluster right here potentially. Price loves to go just around below something like this before coming back up. So if we sell, those are definitely interesting. We have one right here as well. This is all on a 15-minute chart. These are clear lows. We're looking for a price to trap under, sell off at the low, then go back above and hold, obviously with context. So now if we sell from here, this will be about almost 38, 40 points. That'd be a good amount of selling before entering a setup. So if you like the setup, nothing wrong with entering that. Just be mindful there's another low right here. You can also wait for that one. You might not get it though. Have a great night.